Hey there, this is Mrs. Dietz. I just wanted to make you guys a really quick video to introduce myself. I am so excited to get to know you all this year. We have lots of fun things planned for you. I teach both English 208 and American Literature, so if you're watching this video, then you have one of those two courses. I absolutely adore both of those courses. There's tons of fun literature that we get to read and discuss, and there's lots of opportunity for growth in your writing, as well as some fun projects that we get to complete. So bank on a fun year full of growth from both of these classes. A little bit about myself. I graduated from Boise State University. Go Broncos. This is my 10th year of teaching and my 4th year here teaching at the IDVA. I taught for 6 years at the middle school level, and then the last 4 years, I've taught here at the high school level for the Idaho Virtual Academy, and I love it. I love the courses that I teach, and I love our school. When I am not teaching, I am most likely spending time with my family. I love to go on adventures with my family. We like to explore the area that we live in. Right here actually is a picture of me and my daughter up in Hailey, Idaho. It probably seems kind of funny that there's a picture of me next to a gravesite, but this is actually Ernest Hemingway's gravesite. And so we traveled up there this summer and we did a little road tripping just so we could take a look at his gravesite and then just explore the area. If you're in American Lit, you will actually be reading a book by Ernest Hemingway this year. If you're in English 208, never fear. Next year, when you go into American Lit, you too will get to read a book by Ernest Hemingway. And then the reason that I'm, here taking a picture by a gravesite will all make sense to you. Like I said, I spend lots of time with my family. I have a 3.5-year-old boy named Cohen. He is super, 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 super cute and also really mischievous. Down here is a picture of me with my daughter, my son, and my husband, and it pretty much sums up my son's personality completely, and that's why I included it. Here we are all smiling nicely at the camera, and then there is my son making this bizarre face. And that just shows off his personality. He's kind of drumming to his own beat, if you will, but he's lots of fun. I also have a 7-year-old daughter named Gracelyn. She is going into 2nd grade this year. She is just full of sass and spunk and creativity. She's super funny. She's just fun to have a conversation with, and she can make friends with anybody. She is always that girl in the classroom that the teacher has to ask to stop chatting. So that's something that she's working on this year, is being more focused and chatting a little bit less, but she's super social and I think it'll serve her well when she's an adult. I also have a stepson who is 16. He's a junior in high school this year. So he has his learner permit. He's starting to drive, which scares me. He does track and field. He's super creative and he's in his drama program and he loves to make movies in his spare time. So that's just a little bit about my family. Like I said, we just like to explore the Boise area that we live in the area around there. My kids are all in various activities, dance, soccer, track. So a lot of our weekends and evenings are spent going to those activities, which I really enjoy. This summer, we were able to go to Colorado. We have some family that live there, and we went to Estes Park and we rode, I think it's their tram, is that what they call it? But basically, you get to stand in this little cable car and you go from down here all the way to the top of this mountain. Really is just a big hill. But it was so much fun and so frightening. But it was kind of the highlight of our summer, was making that trip to Colorado, seeing some family, and then getting to check out Estes Park. In addition to that, I really like to bake, and so here's a picture of my world famous chocolate chip cookies. They may not be world famous, but I do have a secret family recipe that I use, and so they always turn out really good, and I enjoy doing that with my kids, and so we seem to make chocolate chip cookies about once a month. As you probably already assumed, I teach English, therefore I love to read, and these are just a couple of my favorite books. I really do enjoy young adult literature, so I have a couple of those listed here. If you ever have a book that you've read that you've really enjoyed, feel free to send it my way. I love book suggestions. A couple of my favorite young adult pieces of literature are If I Stay. All the Bright Places, The Hunger Games, We Were Liars, and The Art of Racing in the Rain. I love all of those books. I seem to gravitate towards realistic fiction or historical fiction, which is why you also see All the Light We Cannot See on here. And that is a historical fiction book that's set during World War II. I also like realistic fiction quite a bit. All the Bright Places is a realistic fiction book that's one of my favorites. And it actually makes me cry a little bit. It's so good. At the same time, I do like The Hunger Games. I like science fiction too. I'm always a sucker for a good science fiction book. One of my favorite books of all times is The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. If there is one book that I can attribute to me becoming a teacher, it's probably that book. Reading that book my junior year of high school and discussing it and writing about it and working through it with my classmates and my teacher is probably one of the reasons that I wanted to go into teaching literature in the first place. And so Mark Twain is one of my favorites. Another thing you should just know about me is I like to think I'm really funny. I like to share dorky teacher jokes, so just be prepared for that. Pretend to laugh, give me an LOL or something in the chat. But just be mentally prepared that you will get a good dose of, teacher jokes throughout the year. I am super excited, you guys, to start the year off with you. I'm looking forward to getting to know you guys here through the first couple of weeks of school and also through your writing and projects in class. If you ever have questions, please send them my way. Otherwise, I will see you guys all in class. I am so excited.